Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to my channel. My name is Iqra and I post mainly beauty and teaching related videos. Today I'm going to be doing a first impressions of the Juno sponge, which kind of shot to fame after Nikki Tutorial spoke about it, and then Kathleen Lights did a video on it, and after Kathleen did her video on it I was just very convinced to pick it up. Now this sponge is based in the US and there's no like UK warehouse, but you can order it pretty easily from the US. What is so unique about it is this is like a sponge like no other. It's basically, it looks like this. It's a microfiber blending sponge, and usually sponges do not have this kind of furry fuzzy texture on them, but what I have seen from reviews that I've watched is that it basically gives you a lot more coverage than your typical sponge would, which is really cool. The company is Juno&Co, and I ordered this directly from their website, and I got the 4 velvet sponge bundle because the one alone was sold out, and I believe they're $6 each, or if you get them in a bundle you get them for $20, which is a pretty decent deal. You save a couple of dollars there. And then my shipping was $5, so again not bad at all for international shipping, and I thought that's like an amazing deal, that's so good. And then lo and behold, I came back from work one day and I saw that I had been hit with customs. So I had a big customs fee to pay, and unfortunately they charged me, which was really mean because it wasn't that much over the limit, but anyway, sometimes you get hit, sometimes you don't, and I had to pay an extra £11. So I kind of worked out that approximately, like altogether, each of these sponges cost me about £8, including the customs charge, which is not bad at all considering a beauty blender is like between £16 to £20. They keep putting the price up for the original beauty blender, and yeah, so I just thought, well, you know what, it's not too bad. It's still like a lot cheaper than my favourite sponge, and it's worth trying it out and just, you know, seeing if I like it, and if I don't, then at least I can say I've tried it. So yeah, this is the 4-pack. I've got 2 that I'm going to show you today, and then I'm going to give 1 away as well. So this is what it looks like when it's been dampened, and this is what it looks like when it's been dry. So there's not a huge amount of difference, and it is a little bit of a weird texture, but I can't say like I mind it. I think it's really interesting. It's got a little hole in the bottom there, and it's just very soft. In this one, which I've just opened, it comes with a little booklet, which I don't think I noticed that when I opened the first one for some reason, but on the booklet it just has, it's a little handy guide on how to clean and the do's and the don'ts for the sponge. You use it wet to apply your foundation, concealer and contouring, and it says you must avoid product overload, so you submerge the Juno under water and squeeze out excess liquid, and then apply a dime-sized amount of the product in the back of your hand to prepare application, but don't put the product directly onto the sponge as that will transfer and make it too thick, which is interesting. So I'm going to put it on my face first, my foundation, and then it says using a stippling motion, dab and stipple the product until you've achieved your desired effect. To use it dry, you can apply loose powders, blushes and highlighters, and it says you dip the Juno into the desired amount of product and apply to your face. The dry microfiber surface will act as brush hairs for evenly blended distribution, which is so genius. So I'm really excited to try both of these. This one's obviously damp, this one I'm going to use for my not my concealer, for my blusher, and just see how that works. Whenever Nikki speaks about a new product, I feel like it sells out so quickly, and I was a little bit like, oh, I don't know if it was going to be easily available in the UK, but it got to me pretty quickly, like within, I would say like within 10 days it was with me. So I'm just using my Nars Sheer Glow foundation, and I'm going to start applying this onto my face and blending it out. That is so much more coverage than I would usually get from this foundation. I always describe this as like a medium to full, and I'm pretty much getting full coverage results, and I'm using a sponge, which is really odd for me because I do like to apply this with my beauty blender usually, but the coverage is insane, and I actually feel like I've applied too much foundation onto my face because a little bit is going a long way. Now if we look at the actual surface of the sponge, it hasn't absorbed that much where it's actually applying it. So it has taken some, just like a brush would take some products up. It's not absorbed that much. Let's do this side. In terms of how it feels, it feels very soft, though you can hear it kind of patting against my face. You can't feel it, like it doesn't feel like there's really horrible harder texture sponges that like supposed to be dupes of Beauty Blender. It feels much softer, probably because of the surface. It's doing a really good job. Wow, that is basically full coverage results from a usually medium coverage foundation for me, so I am really happy with that. It has blended everything in really nicely. There are no streaks, no patchiness. There's obviously no brush marks because it's not a brush. So I still feel like I've got that really beautiful finish from a sponge, but with a lot more coverage. So far so good. I'm going to use the Pixi by Petra concealer, and this is in the shade Nude. It's one that I haven't used that much. It's a little bit light for me, but I want to see if this sponge can sort of bring a bit more coverage, because last time I remember using it, I thought it didn't have enough coverage for me personally. Blends out really quickly, and it just looks so good on the skin. Let's see the under eyes now. I did think I'd struggle to sort of blend this area in, because as you can see the point is not as precise as a Beauty Blender, but it's not bad at all actually. I just closed my eye and sort of put the corner of it in to the inner corner, and it did a really good job. And the coverage of the concealer definitely has looked way better than the last time I used it. Last time I felt like my sponge soaked up a lot of the product, and when I put it on with a brush it just didn't look as good. I'm kind of in shock by how much I really like this sponge, and it's literally been 5 minutes since I've been using it. That has blended everything out really nicely. Now I'm going to try and use it with powder for the first time. So this is my dry one, and I'm just going to set my under eyes with my Rhodial Banana powder, which is the most beautiful but ever so expensive powder. So I've just put it into, literally I've just touched it against there, and it's picked up quite a bit. Let's see. Wow, that is set pretty well. Again, just picking some up. Not bad at all. So I've just used it to tap right under the eyes. I'm going to take this powder sort of everywhere where I highlighted, just to add some brightness to my face. I don't know that it would replace like a powder brush to put all over the face, but in terms of setting, it's not done a bad job at all. Alright, moving on to my cream contour. So it said it was good for cream contouring with a damp sponge when it's run under water. So I'm going to take my ABH kit, and this is a brush from Primark, which is really cool. It's got one side that's got very dense bristles, and then the other side is very good for blending out. So I'm just going to take this shade first. And then for my chin, which is where I really need contouring, I take a bit of this shade and a little bit of a darker shade as well. Right, let's see how well it blends out. Right, I'm feeling like it's kind of dried up a bit, so I'm just going to take my Mario Badescu spray and just spray it over the top and see if that helps. Yeah, so it definitely absorbs water and kind of dries quicker than your average beauty sponge, but I suppose that makes sense because the texture is like microfiber, which I'm sure we've all used that sort of microfiber cloth for cleaning before. And yeah, so if you are going to use this, you do have to run it under the tap pretty much right before you do your makeup, I would say. That is amazing. It's done the cheeks really well. I struggled a little bit with the nose. Maybe if there's like a smaller size that would work better, or I just think sometimes with the nose contouring, like a brush is just the best thing to do because it's just more precise. But for the cheeks, the forehead and the chin, it has blended out absolutely beautifully. Now, it said it was good for applying and blusher as well. So I've got this Weaver blush here. This is in the colour, the shade Last Love. It's a beautiful pinky shade. And what I will say is that when I applied the yellow powder, it kind of seemed to pack it on. And there's still powder left on the sponge. I'm just going to put the excess on. So I'm a bit worried that it's going to make me look slightly clown-like, but let's have a look. Let's put a little bit it on. As you can see, the blusher's on the sponge. Such a funny texture. Let's see. Fingers crossed. Okay. So it's applied in quite a concentrated way. Just going to go over to this side. Okay, not bad. Let's blend this out. See if we can blend it out. That is not bad. It's blending out really well. I'm going to take the same sponge and I'm just going to take a face powder. This one is the Kiko Soft Light Powder, and I'm going to swipe some on. Wow, it seems like a lot of product. And just go over the sort of cheek area and see how that goes. Okay, it seems to have softened the application a little bit. And it does sound and look like I'm really hitting my face hard, but I'm not at all. It feels absolutely fine. It doesn't feel painful at all. Okay, I am pretty impressed with that. I mean, if you were travelling and you really didn't want to carry a lot of brushes and you just wanted 1 or 2 sponges, this could probably do you for your whole face makeup. Personally, I would probably still want to carry a blusher brush, a contour brush for powder contour, and just, you know, a brush to just sweep everything together with, maybe like a stippling brush. But on the whole, it's not bad at all. The last thing I need to apply is my highlighter, so let's see how it does with that. This is the Laura Geller Gilded Honey Highlight. It's got a more of a drier texture, and I'm going to take the tip of the sponge. Okay, I've just swept it in a little bit, and as you can see, it's picked up some, and it looks quite dark on here, interestingly. Let's see how it applies highlights. Well, it's definitely on there. It's not super concentrated. Oh, but that side was. But I'm just going to finish the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. Okay, and I am back. Now, I have to say, as I was doing the rest of my makeup, I was just looking at my under eyes in particular, and I am so happy with the way it applied powder. I haven't even baked, which is like such a big thing for me because I normally always bake, but the under eyes look completely flawless, and I can only put that down to the unique microfiber sort of texture on here. It's applied enough powder to properly set. I'll have to see if it creases like any more than usual, but I am honestly very happy. So I love the way it applied the foundation. I love the way it applied the concealer. That concealer looked so much better with this sponge than in any other way that I've used it, which is amazing. Now I feel like I can properly use it. I love the way it applied the powder under the eyes, obviously as a dry version. I also did like how it blended out my cream contour, especially around my face, but I will say that for smaller areas like my nose, I missed it to a brush, and it's good in a pinch for blush and highlighter, but it's quite a subtle application of highlight, and it does kind of stamp on the blush. I don't feel like I could have blended it out in a very in a way that I could with a brush, if that makes sense. But on the whole, for $5 or $6, this sponge is amazing, and I'm so happy that they made a video about it. I don't know if their videos are sponsored. I don't really care. Like, they brought a product that is really affordable to loads and loads of people, and I'm very happy that I have it in my collection. Do I like it more than the Beauty Blender? I don't know, it's way too early to tell. This is literally the first time I've used it, and I'll have to see how it washes and how it wears. I did want to go through the rest of that booklet with you guys if you're interested. So it says, while cleaning the Juno, make sure you run under warm water to loosen trapped products, and create a lather using a gentle soap and squeeze out until all product is out and the water runs clear. But don't vigorously rub or scrub product off the sponge. Don't use any textured brush cleansing contraptions because it will make it tear. So I can't use this on my faux Sigma cleansing mat. And don't submerge and leave the sponge in water. So if you've seen those hat videos where they put it in water and fairy and they put it in the microwave, you can't do it with that. But I do think that even just including this little booklet is so helpful. because it tells you all the uses and how to use it really well. So to conclude, this sponge definitely gets a massive 2 thumbs up from me. I think it is well worth the $5 or $6, and let me know if you guys have tried it below, and if you want to have the chance to win one, read the description bar below. All the details will be there. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!